In the heart of the modern Africa city of Lagos, where life is fast paced and every street tells a different story, there lived a young girl named Amara. She was just 17 years old, with dreams as big as the city that surrounded her. But on this day, as she stared down at the pregnancy test in her hand, her world was about to change in ways she never could have imagined. Her heart pounded, her thoughts raced, and in that moment, everything she thought she knew about her life and her family was about to be shattered. Amara had always been a girl with big dreams. In school, she excelled. Teachers adored her and her peers admired her. Her father, Chike, had raised her alone since her mother passed away when she was just a child. Chike was strict but loving, always reminding Amara that she could achieve anything if she stayed focused. But now her future had become uncertain. Amara was pregnant. She had always feared disappointing her father. The weight of the secret was unbearable. She knew she couldn't hide it forever. But how could she tell the one man she feared letting down the most? And then came the moment Amara had dreaded. Her father had always been her hero, her protector, the one person she believed would stand by her no matter what. But soon she would learn that even heroes can fall. Chiki sits down across from Amara, concern etched across his face. Amara, my dear, what's wrong? Amara swallows hard, her voice trembling as she speaks. Her heart raced as she prepared to speak the words that would change everything. Amara, Papa, I'm pregnant. Chick's face transforms from shock to anger as he rises from his chair, the weight of the revelation too much for him to bear. Pregnant! Amara, what have you done? Chike asked angrily. Amara's eyes fill with tears, pleading for her father's understanding. Papa, I know it's not what you wanted, but I love my baby. I want to keep it. What came next was not what Amara expected. The man who had been her rock now stood before her as someone she no longer recognized. If you keep this child, you are no longer my daughter. I raised you better than this. You've brought shame to our family. Choose Amara, me or the child, said Chike. And just like that, Amara was cast out. The man who had promised to love her unconditionally had turned his back on her. With nowhere to go, she wandered the city streets, searching for a place to call home. But the vibrant city that once seemed full of promise now felt cold and unwelcoming. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Amara's belly grew, along with the weight of her loneliness. She had lost not only her father, but the future she had once envisioned for herself. The dreams of university, a bright career, they all seemed to fade with one decision. Yet, through the darkness, one light remained, the love for her unborn child. As Amara walks through the bustling streets, she stumbles upon a local community center where a group of women are gathered. It was here, among strangers, that Amara found a flicker of hope. At the community center, she met Mrs. Adeyemi, a kind-hearted woman who saw the pain in Amara's eyes and extended a hand of friendship. You are stronger than you know, Amara. Being a mother is hard, but you don't have to do this alone. Mrs. Adeyemi. Mrs. Adeyemi became a beacon of light in Amara's darkest days. She helped Amara find a job and a small place to live, and introduced her to other young mothers who had faced similar challenges. Slowly, Amara began to rebuild her life. But no matter how much progress she made, the pain of her father's rejection still lingered. Months had passed since Amara had left her father's house, and though her life had transformed in many ways, one thing still weighed heavily on her heart: the unresolved pain between her and her father. Amara knew that in order to fully move forward, she had to face the past. Amara stands outside her father's house, the baby in her arms. She knocks on the door, and Chike opens it. Amara had waited for this moment. She had dreamt of reconciliation, of her father meeting his grandson and realizing the love they had both lost. But sometimes the deepest hopes can be shattered by a single word. Amara said softly, "Papa, this is your grandson. Please, come meet him." Chike looks at the baby, then at Amara. His face shows a flicker of emotion, but it quickly hardens again. He steps back, his voice cold. "You made your choice, Amara." Amara stands frozen as her father closes the door on her and her child. Her heart breaks all over again. The weight of finality presses down on her. But Amara was no longer the same girl who had left that house months ago. She had grown, she had changed. She was no longer just Chike's daughter, she was a mother. And in that moment, she realized that the only love she truly needed was the one she held in her arms, the love for her son. Amara walks away from the house, holding her baby close. It has been several months since Amara's confrontation with her father. She has been working tirelessly to support her son while trying to complete her schooling. The days are long and exhausting, but she has found joy in motherhood. On this particular morning, while she was walking down a busy street in Lagos, her baby strapped to her chest as she headed to work, suddenly a luxury car pulls up beside her and the window rolls down. The driver, a man in his early 50s, steps out, well dressed, with a kind face. He introduces himself as Mr. Adewale, a businessman who had seen Amara at the community center several times, noticing her strength and resilience from afar. "Excuse me, young lady, I've heard of your story from Mrs. Adeyemi. I know it's been difficult for you, but I also see your courage. I've been thinking, I have a business and I'm in need of someone like you. How would you feel about working with me? I believe you have a bright future ahead of you," said Mr. Adewale. In a city as vast and unpredictable as Lagos, fate has a way of surprising even the most prepared hearts. On this morning, Amara's life was about to take another unexpected turn. Amara's eyes widened in disbelief. After months of struggling to make ends meet, she had never expected such an offer. It was a chance to build a future for herself and her son. Several more months have passed. Amara is thriving in her new job, balancing work, school, and motherhood with the support of her employer, Mr. Adewale, who has taken her under his wing like a father figure. Her life has transformed, but one thing still weighs heavily on her: her father. She hasn't seen or heard from Chike since that fateful night, and despite her new life and success, the wound of her father's rejection still remains fresh. As the months passed, Amara thrived, but no matter how much she grew, there remained a part of her that longed for reconciliation. She missed her father's love, and deep down, she hoped for healing. One day, as Amara prepares to leave for work, she receives an unexpected visitor at her door. She opens it to find her father, Chick, standing there. His face is filled with regret, his eyes brimming with tears. "Amara, I've made a terrible mistake. I let my pride blind me. I've watched you from afar. I was wrong. Please let me be a part of your life again. I want to know my grandson. Chike choking up. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I am begging for it. For the first time in over a year, Amara saw her father not as the man who had betrayed her, but as the man she had always loved, the man who had raised her, her hero, and in that moment she knew it was time to let go of the pain. Amara steps forward and embraces her father, whispering, I forgive you, Papa. In the heart of the city, where life moves quickly and dreams are often tested, Amara found something greater than survival. She found forgiveness, she found peace, and she discovered that even after the deepest wounds, family can heal. The story of Amara teaches us that life's challenges, no matter how painful, can be overcome with resilience and love. It reminds us that forgiveness, while difficult, can heal even the deepest wounds. In the end, family, though imperfect, can be a source of both pain and healing. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey of love, betrayal, and forgiveness. Amara's story reminds us all of the power of resilience and the importance of family. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more tales of inspiration and life's lessons. We'll be back with more stories that captivate your mind and stir your soul.